Perth Racing Preview is where the straight-up team finds you the winners at Belmont Park. All the fixed odds markets are from Tab Touch. The Perth Racing Preview is where the straight-up team finds you the winners, and here's the straight-up team with their preview of Saturday racing from Ascot.
Racing coming.
Hello.
Hey. Now, there's some big news. We've got to break it right off the top. McGinnity's crook.
Yeah, not
here.
What with?
I can't say.
I'm not sure.
It's very infectious, apparently, so he couldn't
It's not
come
man
in.
flu. We know that.
No.
Rhymes with brush.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So, Russell Collette's been called off the bench, and he's half lit, I reckon.
No, I'm going beautifully. You're feeling
He's
a million
lit up.
He's off
dollars.
the bench.
Thirsty Thursday.
Lovely to be with you
Hey,
both
magnificent.
again. And any trombones for us? What a weekend of winners.
Hang on. This man over here.
Hey,
What?
it was enormous.
Well, how many did you
winners?
test?
I reckon 5.
5?
There you go.
Well,
Play it
Riley
again.
beat that.
Play it again, champ.
Yeah, I reckon he did. Let's have a
it's very
listen.
good though, Riley.
He
There's a
went,
couple.
he
There's a
went
couple.
Wooburn Gold, Forever Boy,
Only got half a win.
Magnificent Andy each way, and Love and War Best.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I didn't think you tipped that many winners.
Oh, go back and have a look.
I'll have a look.
Unbelievable.
What's
He
it?
picks.
It was like I was reading him off a Sunday.
He
It was
picks
like-
and chooses what he
It was
remembers.
like at the Sunday Times on the Friday. That's what it was like. I'm telling you now.
Did I write them
But
down?
good to see you guys, and great to see you back, mate, Riley, and you much better dress sense this week. Well done.
You blokes did not miss.
Oh, we couldn't miss you. Mate.
I was
You know that.
I'd sat through a riveting 8-race program down there at beautiful Bunbury last Thursday. Hadn't gone near a winner for the entire 8-race
We
program.
did note.
And then I've had to sit in the car and listen to you blokes
Humble you.
kick me while I was down.
And a special mention to good Sammys.
They got a
For the
mention.
first
Well done.
half
They did a
an hour.
great
I
job.
did enjoy the best one was someone tell Riley it's not off shop theme at Bunbury today. That was good.
Now, remember, it is the $100 voucher for Mundaring Hotel. Zach won it last week. He was very
was going
good.
to
How
say,
busy
you
was the
blokes would have
text
had a-
line last
text
week?
Would have had a
line
few
blew up.
tough ones to decipher last week.
It blew up, so I hope you
Can we get the number out again? It is so good.
0427 789 571.
Who's that for?
For Retrovision,
For
but
Retrovision.
the Mundaring Hotel
Unbelievable.
sponsor the best texter for the next, what have we got, 2.25
Yeah,
hours?
a bit. Yeah.
Jeez.
So
Zach
get
will
on
be
the
back.
any in yet?
It's a bit of time to kill. Yeah, one from Peter, actually. It's football chat, so we might get to that
Later?
a bit
Okay.
later on. So I'll keep
Right.
that in the back pocket.
Okay, and what did you think? It was a terrific race. It delivered in spades last week,
It
didn't
did.
it? The Hyperion.
And the track came good. Remember the warning I put out? Western Empire. Got to be a good track. Otherwise, wait, hold on the betting.
White to
Second
their
race
eyes.
of the day. Upgrade to good 4.
You said hello.
Got the chocolates.
Yep.
Very easy.
Didn't
Yeah, wasn't
Magnificent
it?
Andy look home?
Oh,
He did.
Did he?
I thought he did.
Terrific horse.
That was a very painful watch for myself,
Yeah,
being
terrific one.
invested in Magnificent Andy.
He's a
'Cause
beauty, isn't he?
but even when he kicked clear, I could just the only thing I could focus on was how well Western Empire had just trucked up into it out wide.
And
I
D-Mac
thought,
picked
oh,
it.
no.
Mac picked it coming. Mac said, here it comes. Winding
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Western Empire. And I thought, oh, hang on.
You knew your fate 100 metres to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Great race. And we're off to Bunbury.
Well, again, yes, down to Bunbury, and we were there yesterday as well.
Just one more thing on that race last week, Marty.
Mm-hmm.
In a parallel universe where Hemlock Stone gets clear at the top of the straight, gee, that would have made things all the more interesting, I think, for our good friend of the show, Mr. Bellis Racing himself, Peter Morley, who's over in the United Kingdom at the moment enjoying himself.
Yes, good luck with all of that.
It was a good race meeting, actually.
And just
a beauty.
not just Hemlock Stone, they were lining up. What about the run of Triple Missile?
Old mate Triple.
Wow.
Gee, they might even have a dip at the 2,000 off the back of that, mate.
What about the 270 opening price, Love and War? Hope you're feeling well, McGinnity. Hope you're feeling good out there, mate.
Yes.
That would
We're sending our
that would
thoughts and
probably take
prayers.
a week to get over.
Is that why? That was cool.
I hope he's not tuned in.
Oh, he will be.
Oh, he will be. On his deathbed, he'll be there.
He did say I can do it on the phone. I said, no. After last Sunday morning.
After love and war.
Yeah.
Please.
Now, the weather's going to be about 20-odd degrees, partly cloudy.
Rain's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, there's none on
5
Sunday,
to 15 mils tomorrow.
Bunbury?
Bunbury, and forecast for another 5 mils on Saturday. 1 to 5 mils.
Wow.
So it will be a soft.
Forecast.
Yeah, it will be a soft.
Soft 6 at the moment.
Could
3-metre
get to
rail. Oh, it won't get to a heavy, not Bunbury.
Could.
Nah.
Enough rain down there.
What do you reckon?
Soft 6.
Oh, yeah.
Soft
okay.
6, and anyone's guess how that track is going to play on
Well, it was
Saturday.
good on Wednesday. It was fantastic. You could lead if you're good enough, and you could run on if you're good enough.
Well, I guess logic says the inside couple of lanes weren't used on Wednesday, so they'll be untouched on Saturday. But definitely something to pay attention to, how it raced on Wednesday leading into this weekend. And my concern is mainly around the preparation for this winter season down there at Bunbury. You think, and he's a friend of mine, Cole Potter's the track manager down there, you think Potsy thought that he'd have 3 meetings in 9 days, 2 of those being a Wednesday and a Saturday when he started preparing the track for this winter season.
100%.
And the answer is unequivocally no.
He wouldn't have.
It's going to be really testing him and
Definitely.
his staff down there at the moment in terms of to get this track to play as well as it possibly can. So definitely something to just, I guess, tread lightly early doors and see how it all unfolds over the first few races to get a better idea.
And Rawa have informed us that Wednesday, Belmont has been transferred to Bunbury. That is Wednesday the 18th. And on Saturday, 21st of June, that has been transferred to Pinjarra Main Track. So that's
Okay.
next Saturday. It's already Pinjarra Main Track. Next
What
Wednesday.
is the latest here? What is the latest? When do we get the information
Information concerning Belmont will be provided in the coming days.
Okay, so we haven't got the test results back yet regarding the drain and the...
Well,
surface
we
there.
haven't. Maybe they have, and they're deciphering them, but we haven't been told about them.
Righto, okay.
Yeah.
So they're just doing everything right. They're doing everything fairly, and
Yeah, just get it right. That's what.
that's all
That's
people
the
want,
message.
and play it safe.
Now, yesterday we had Craig Smith on, the CEO of the KBRC, and I peppered him with your questions. And
what did he say?
The programming is definitely Thursday to Saturday.
Okay.
So Hannon's on Thursday, and on the Cup Day, it'll be the Ron Sayers Memorial, followed by the Golden Saddle, into the Calgary Cup. It's a bit of a super Saturday.
It's a big meeting, isn't it, for a provincial club?
I
Massive.
just get the sense, Rusty, that you might be not overly happy with the
He's
move.
a broad arrow man on the Thursday. That's his problem. Where does that go?
No, I'll be up front with everybody here. I used to live in Kalgoorlie for 20 years, as you know. Racing is a fantastic sport at giving back dividends to country areas, regional areas, and I don't think at times we give enough value to the social side of racing. And the beauty about, I'm not saying you need to have a week-long round, as we used to have with 3 meetings, but if you have a 3 or 4 day round, you get a day or 2 where people can socialise, people can meet together, people can chat together, and you form relationships around a wonderful industry and sport. And I think going Thursday and Saturdays, it diminishes that, but I can see why they're doing it. It's about dollars and cents. It's about
cost
economic
savings.
sense. You can't put them up. There's no accommodation to put them up. The cost to put them up would be enormous. And you've got a big crew that have to go from Perth to there to perform a meeting, especially a meeting like that.
Well, it's not just security, it's totes, bar staff, it's everything.
Yeah. So,
have you got
it's
room in
understandable.
one of your I'm thinking about going this year. One of your houses up
I'll
there.
be able
You've
to
got
find you something.
Just a room for a couple of days.
You're right.
Well,
You'll
Got
find
about
it
8 of them.
You'll always find somewhere to put your head down, mate. You know that.
yeah, a couple of post-race experts getting in. That's not going to get you the Mundaring voucher, boys. Magnificent Andy, far too short going from a Group 3 to a Group 3, whereas Western Empire was getting to the races out of the Quokka, gentlemen. So someone's had a fill up there with Western Empire. You could have just You're on air, Rusty. You don't have to send it to the work phone that you backed Western Empire. And another one here. Just done the results for Riley's winners last weekend. Whooping Gold $1.90 with obviously the sharing of the prize money there and the money. Magnificent Andy each way $1.34. Love and War $1.75. Aussie punting battlers would be turning in their graves hearing all this. Be lucky to get you entry to Belmont Park with all that value.
Free entry.
It's a bit tough. They were $2.70.
Yeah.
And that's from
Little Woburn was $5.
Well.
It came into $2.50.
So what did you tip?
I objectify each way, dead heated with that one.
Yep.
So I've warned him. I've said, if you send in material like that again, I'm blocking the number. I've had enough.
Yeah, they've sort of been coming for you, haven't they?
They have.
Ross, it's two.
Oh, they do.
Benny from Bunbury's our track man down there.
Western Power got beat. I know that. Repossession I picked, and I was hating picking the favourites. Two Darn Stormy ran second. Let me go through these. Money Trees was my best each way. I said it was basically a free bet. $8 and $3 at the time. Ran third.
Good run, that.
It was a very good run. Nice horse, that. Did you see him live, Riley? Did you have a look at him?
I saw him down in Albany.
Nice horse, yeah. Good
He's
looking.
a nice horse.
He's going to be an athlete. Objectify each way. Dead heated. Probably should have won. Forever Boy, I tipped. Won, $2.80. I said Western Empire, if it's good track, I'm taking that as well. And Love and War was the one that I said should win, but I went each way for a free bet at $5 and $2. Miss Sky High. I don't think there's many holes in the bucket.
You haven't won much. You've saved.
You've
You haven't lost. You haven't lost, but you haven't
You had a
cleaned
couple
up.
of mouldies. You've had a good day.
Let's
move on another week now. Let's do it again.
Just before we get started for the weekend, I've recruited my track walker down there, Benny from Bunbury. He's going to do his Saturday morning walk around the track for us to give us a report. He's saying early stages won't be getting to a heavy, lads. Leader bias potentially, but not heavy. So there you go.
That's from Benno. Right, let's have a look at the first. The Prince of Wales Hotel plate. Love the Prince of Wales. Great place for a shandy on a hot day.
Ripper.
Over the 1,000 metres. It's the old style hotel. You go back to yesteryear.
Love it.
Our naughty secret for the Wolfman is 22. Baby Pearl 340, 290. If Benno's right and it's leaderish, I think this will be leading and winning. Awesome Forces 21. Cape Lewin.
There it is.
Where is he now? Cape Lewin. 14 into 650. There's a good meerkat. Shahak 21. London's Rascal is 34. Pure Excess 230, 215. Flickin' Rubies. You've got to be careful with that with these glasses. 61. Azali's Gifts $11.
You want to have another crack at the 5?
Not really.
Shakadactyl?
Yeah, good.
Not
Good,
bad.
Russ. You're on early. You're on early, Russ.
None of the last 8 races. We're doing our best.
All right. I'll quickly jump in with the map. The map
Please,
is
this is
Baby
important.
Pearl leading and maybe London's Rascal getting up behind it, but the Babe will lead.
You had many new subscribers over the last few weeks?
It's been massive. The result. Look, there's some text there about martsmats.com.
Has that container arrived yet with the merch?
Everything-
Yeah, they all
here.
just want the merch.
we
We'll
want
be
it out.
selling it at Bunbury on Saturday.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's good colours too. I like
Brilliant.
it. Very
Yeah,
good.
red,
Won't give
black
it
and
away.
white.
Don't want to give it away.
Go in the
Okay.
purple.
Rusty, did you want to? Rusty, you're on fire early. You can kick things off.
Okay. Baby Pearl, as martmaps.com premium package says, will lead. If this course is back to Wednesday was 6 metres with a cutaway. This is 3 metres the entire, and certainly early you'd be expecting on speed. So I think Baby Pearl is the danger to the favourite. The favourite, though, boy, it was good. Drew 2 at Pinjarra in the 1,000-metre dash, so drew the outside as such. What a brilliant last 100 metres.
It's not a bad way of putting it, actually, Rusty. Moving forward, just the inside draws of the outside.
Exactly, just the opposite.
Yeah.
But 32.89 home on debut, Pure Excess. Did a few, it just looked a little bit raw and such, but boy, that last 100 was eye-catching. If you watch the replay, you'd be heading that way. In mine, it's a 2-horse race. I hate, I do hate picking favourites, but for mine, these two are going to probably clear out in this, especially at the 1,000 with the rail at 3 metres. Pure Excess, Baby Pearl. I think Baby Pearl will be leading. I think Pure Excess will probably cut it down. Of the others, Awesome Force was okay. Cape Lorne was big, strong type, trialling well, but trialling over the 400 to 600 and drawn a touch wide for Bunbury, drawn at the 8, so it'll probably be heading backwards. Zali's Gift on debut, good trial, boxed in that trial, was just too strong and got through the line well. I'm not saying that these aren't good horses. Also, Awesome Force, even though it was a slower trial, it was the way it won it, that 950-metre soft 5 trial there at Lark Hill, 59.33. Not overly quick, but went to the line beautifully. Good race. I think the top 2 picked themselves, and a great way to start the day there at Bunbury in the Prince of Wales.
Yeah, I agree, Rusty. Thought it was relatively clear cut here, but I'm really surprised about the drift for the favourite, Pure Excess. I thought she was $1.85, $1.90 pop off her debut performance down the straight. Drew, as you mentioned, towards that inside pad, which is not where you want to be. Pike was happy to just drop her right out the back and get her as close to that grandstand rail as possible. And by the time she was able to get enough room to get into her work, the bird had flown with those on-speed horses. But, gee, she was impressive the way that she attacked the line. I thought her trial prior to that was excellent. She draws well again to sit closer in running, and I think she'll be much better suited around a bend. Similar, Baby Pearl will be as well, finding the front and giving a kick off that bend at Bunbury. Obviously the clear danger for mine, but at that price, $2.15, I didn't expect to make her a play in race 1 because she was around that $1.85, $1.90 mark, which I thought was fair enough. But at that price, I'm happy to get involved with the favourite in race 1, Pure Excess.
Okay, a bit of Pure Excess action there for you. Riley Northam, race number 6. They're in the yard there. So what do you think about the jumper here? It just doesn't cut it, does it?
Oh, this is Lockie.
Yeah, that's Lockie on the left and
Who's
Michael on the right.
dressing Lockie? Goodness, what's going on there?
Jeez, if we had fines, I might have copped a few last week. But
Goodness.
Locke might have just said, hold my beer.
Is he colourblind?
We might have to go to the lines on this, on Retrovision for the Mundaring. What can you conjure up for Lockie today, boys? Come on, get involved.
I know Duppy's tuned in. He'll be tuned in to not only us but also the 7+ coverage. He does sweet FA all day anyway, so
yeah,
he'll be.
It's a funny mixed match of colours.
Yeah.
Do you think he forgot a jacket and someone's given him that brown one?
I don't think that's his jacket, is it? It looks too big for him.
So. No.
He's swimming in it.
No, I think he's forgotten the jacket. He's gone to lost property at the main office. So it's a little bit nippy out there. Can I grab a jacket? That's the one they said. They said, well, the only one we've got here is
this one.
The typist has got one.
You can't be doing that.
The receptionist has got one. Grab her brown one there and put that on over the top. No one will notice it.
You can't. What were you saying? You maybe on a 3-degree day over in Flemington.
On one of those real cold ones.
Oh, you couldn't do it anywhere else.
The last person I said, TB did it once. I think that's the last time I've seen anyone do it.
I'm extraordinary. Extraordinary colour.
Greg L reckons Lockie might have been dressed by me today.
That's not bad.
He's on the leaderboard so far.
We've got an early clubhouse leader.
Yeah, we could be heading off to Mundaring on that one.
He's just texted me. He said, my text line is blowing up. That's from Lockie. Bunbury race number 2, the Donnybrook Glass Handicap. This is over the 1,000 metres, and 1 Bay Z is 18.16, 2 Song R 13. Prospectors pick, we're going to quiz you about this, 460. Celebrity Prince is 13. My Hidden Universe, 3 into 260. Paddy's Flying's 31. Desert Whisper, 13 into 480. Gee, there's been 2 big meerkats to start it up.
My goodness.
And Supernatural, 4-6 into 5. Speed map. So what's going to happen here? Desert Whisper, My Hidden Universe, you would think. There's a bit of speed. What's Prospector's Pick going to do? Look for a little bit of a smother. And Bay Z would be another going up. But I think the lead is between, and it will be Desert Whisper, I think, leading My Hidden Universe, I think.
I would be very surprised given the way he leaves the barriers, and he does take 3 or 4 strides to muster. No, My Hidden Universe. I'd be very surprised if he can hold out Desert Whisper from finding the front.
Good.
He will take the trail in behind for mine, Rusty, from a map sense.
I agree, mate, and I agree Desert Whisper will lead. Good jockey change there. Chanel to the senior rider, Lucy Fiore, will also help that horse. I've got no doubt about it. My Hidden Universe, Geez, good to see a trainer with very few horses in the yard getting a beauty like this. This is a really talented galloper. 5-year-old having its 10th start. So there's obviously been issues on the way through, but gee, it just keeps improving, doesn't it? It was startling to the eye. Sat 3 wide, no cover last start. Won well, won by a length. Didn't beat a lot, but the way it won, it was fantastic. Got bumped at the start. As I said, no cover throughout. I think this horse is going places. I really do. I think this is the sort of horse that they build that good record where they just don't run out of a place and they just continue to perform. It's got picket fence form now. The last 4 starts have all been wins. Good on you, Johnny Doyle, for getting a nice horse. And we all dream about getting one like this, and I think he's got one. Prospectors pick a big band of bandits that own this horse. There's no doubt about that. Look at the team that own this. No wonder it's short every start. Look, tricky draw here, I think, is the problem at Bunbury. A winner of its past, 2 of its past 3. I think the draw is the problem. I do think Desert Whisper guarantees us the natural speed. Supernatural will get back, and that worries me from barrier 1. Where it will end up, I've got it sort of mapping 3 or 4 back on the rail, which is probably not the place to be at Bunbury if they're running along. I think the race sets up for My Hidden Universe. I'm not concerned about the horse's ability. I just think it's going to continue to thrive. And I think it's fantastic that we've got a horse on the rise, very progressive type. I know it's 5, but boy, is this horse progressive, Rolly.
He is. He's a really nice horse, and weights and measures would suggest that he may start even shorter than his current price off that win and the figure which he posted last start. And I'm still not convinced, and it's interesting listening to John Doyle speak about this horse post-races, that this is a sort of distance range he wants to keep him to for now, but I'm still not convinced he's a 1,000-metre horse. I think he's 7 furlongs. I think he's 1,400.
I
think he's a horse, 1,200 to 1,400-metre region, who can get out and bowl along and really get his opposition uncomfortable. And this is going to give him a different look to what he had first up. And while he did a bit of extra work, there's only from the shoot start the 1 bend, so it's not a bad place to be, 3 wide without cover on speed over the 1,000 at Belmont Park. But he is going to get a different look at it on the weekend, given he is going to, I think, I'd be surprised if he can hold up in front from a horse like Desert Whisper. She's just electric early doors and he's not, so he has to muster to get there. So he may have to take the trail leaders back, but I do think she'll get along at a good enough clip, which should allow him to settle nicely in behind the speed. But it's going to be a different way of doing things for him into a much stronger race, Rusty, over a distance which I'm still not convinced is going to be at his optimum over the 1,000 metres. So got huge respect for him. I think he's got better things in store moving forward, but the setup is maybe my only slight knock when you consider the price available as well. He could really pick the eyes out of this race, to be honest. I think Prospector's picks win had more merit than it looks down the straight last start. It was a race dominated on speed, had to go back to that inside, and you rarely see horses pick up underneath those horses on the outside fence and be able to sprint past them like he was able to do on that occasion. I thought there was a chance he might land 1 out, 1 back here, Rusty, with the likelihood that Supernatural, Songer, Paddy's Flying, Celebrity Prince, they're all backmarkers. I think they'll just be happy to drop out, and that could allow Pike the opportunity to get across a couple of them early and slot in one off the fence. I'm intrigued to see how he goes in this company, and I'm actually going to have something on the forgotten horse here in Songer, which is a horse first up, off a pretty lengthy layoff, was a 66-plus winner last campaign in an incredibly high rating, 1,000 metres fresh on a wet track, running down Ginnivan, who then went on to win his next 3, including one at listed level. His best runs in WA have been fresh, best runs in WA on rain-affected. There looks strong tempo here, which should suit him. The trials were a little bit underwhelming, but he wasn't...
They're 5 across the line.
But he wasn't fully extended in either of those trials. He was never going to race through the Ascot Carnival. He's a horse that isn't the most sound of horses, so they do want to try and save him for these winter months where there's a bit more give in the ground, so he doesn't jar up. And I think he's a horse you need to get fresh. And I think if he brought his best at that price, he's an easy small play at that double figure.
Yeah, no argument with me. No argument with me whatsoever. Certainly, I've got a couple of ticks next to it. My Hidden Universe, 3 from 3 on the soft.
Yep. The Bunbury Hotel, they are bringing us the $100 best texter of the day, and you've only got until 6 o'clock to get them in. Zach was our winner last week. He was very good. Who have been the other winners, Rolls? Barney Rubble?
B. Ryan from Carrinup.
Yeah, Rick was very good last week.
He wanted Rick. Yes, Rick should stick at it because I reckon if you've got any say in the matter, you're going to give it to him.
All the best, Uncle Rick.
Because a couple more on this text line. There's a few texts about beef Wellington. Not sure.
They're starting to wind that one up.
Yeah,
I think she's into about $1.10 to get off. I think the great lady. She gets off this one.
Yeah, well,
have you ever had a beef Wellington just quietly? No?
I'm not going to have one in the future.
Careful. Be very careful. And one off the text line, we were talking about Kalgoorlie a bit earlier, and one of our listeners says, Rusty, mate, you can only see the super pit a certain amount of times. There's not much else to do there besides drinking their brown water, and 4 days is too much of that.
There you go.
Great call, Thursday to Saturday. I will be there.
Gee,
so
that's
there
a
you
bit
go.
hard.
There you go.
Bit hard.
Who's that in from? Someone at Perth Racing.
Oh, well, someone's just texted in just to let you know. And hello, men. Well, this is a bit more of a...
Men?
This is a more serious note regarding Kalgoorlie. Hello, men. Talking about Kalgoorlie, we will be lucky if any locals will race with the state of the work track and sounding areas. Have a great evening.
Well, their fields have been okay.
Yeah, well, the
Fields are
racing
good
there's
this
been
week.
fine so far.
Yeah. I noticed there's a lot more out-of-towners racing on Sunday as well.
Absolutely. And I just noticed also today the broom fields for Saturday.
Good.
Fabulous. Only one horse. The first race is 1-2. Everything else is 9 or better.
Yeah, we're talking to Gig Albert tomorrow as we normally do. We'll talk to Glenn Gregory tonight as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Out on the deck.
Yes, on the deck, just sunning himself. Race number 3, the Tap Touch West Speed Platinum Handicap over the 1690. Cheerio out to the big man who travels by bike. He'll be listening in, making his way back from Bunbury. Number 1, Why Me, is 550 to 6. 2, Asphalt, 13, 17, 16. Number 3, Royal Gap, 340 to 280. 4, Imperialise is 12 into 750. 5, She's a Sheila, $9. 6, Sabera Lot is 26 out to 41. 7, Master Tactician, 14 to 11. 8, Rasmus, $11. 9, Yelling Up Girl, 750 to 6. And 10, Heaps of Moolah at $31. A couple of things before we jump into this. Heard from the Mauler at all?
Yes, I have.
Have you got a set of numbers off him, have you?
I have, actually.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to them.
We will get to them.
Yeah, he was good last week.
I was worried about him.
He was very good last week. Would he tip a winner? He got 1, didn't he?
3.
Three.
3, I think.
Jeez, he gets
Hasn't had the same presence on this show for a little while now.
No, I think his dad. He's doing a very good job looking after John.
He looks after everybody.
Yeah, he does.
Let's face it.
John can
Big
be,
heart.
can sort of he wears him down a little bit.
He's got a brilliant heart, the big
I
mauler,
know, John
and he'll
should
do
normally
anything for
listen to him.
anyone. If anyone's in distress, the mauler's there.
Yeah, well, he
That's where he's a beauty.
100% got me the flat battery episode in the Merc behind the Civic. Did you hear that one?
I did.
No, I
Left the
didn't.
lights on. This lady comes in and she said, it's pouring rain out there. And she said, has anyone got a car 1 HPZ 741? And I said, that sounds like mine. I said, is it a silver Merc? She said, nah, it's not a silver Merc. I said, all right then.
Oh, it was a silver Merc.
So you left him on for another hour.
Went out there, flat battery.
And who to the rescue?
Yeah, the Mauler.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Mauler.
The big
Fantastic
Mauler.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a ripper.
Great man. And
been
Johnny's a great man too. Don't worry about that.
Absolutely.
It's been a profitable show. We haven't even really got into the nitty-gritty of the program, though. But Timmy off the text line, the accommodation for the Kalgoorlie round is sorted. He's booked a 5-room apartment at the Palace, just a short stumble from the Gold Bar once Mart has drained the place after the Kalgoorlie Cup.
Yeah, and the Tats Club as well.
You blokes are more than welcome. So the accommodation is sorted.
Done.
Timmy,
And
lock
you-
me
Good
in.
on you, Tim.
But you got to tell Tim to get up the Tats Club.
Yes.
How good is the Tats Club?
Brilliant.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Right, so speed map in the third. This is a bit tricky.
Yes. I've actually put nothing there. I'm waiting for the
this
premium
is a
package.
Premium package. We're going Rasmus from 9 to cut across. Holly Watson likes to lead. And Heaps of Moolah kicking up with Victoria Corver. I've gone a bit, something's got to lead.
It's a tough one to, mate. It's a tough one to find.
Something does have to lead,
Something's
Mark.
got to lead.
Yeah.
You've never had a race without a leader.
So far. So far we haven't. Great race, though.
Hang on, one off the text line here
competitive.
from... Who's this from? Mark. Thanks to martsmap.com, they've turned my punting life around.
Beautiful.
Premium package is the bomb. There you go, thanks. Oh, Mick. There you go, Mick.
There you are.
Thanks for that.
That's the difference, see.
You're in the running for the 100, Mick.
But you get the map right. You go to Mart's Map and you get the map right. Anything can happen to your punting
Right.
fortunes. It can change very quickly.
I think we were 7 from 9 the other day.
Yeah, very good. You were on the money. We knew the leaders.
Only 8 races.
Well, it makes it a lot happier, you know.
Okay, let's get into this race.
Okay.
Let's go.
Very competitive, 1690 metres at Bunbury. Very competitive field.
I feel like competitive's a substitute for something.
Very even. very even.
Or interesting.
Yeah, and it does. It's not a four little word.
Intriguing.
Very good. Intriguing's very good. Intriguing's very, very good. If you really studied this race for between now and Saturday, I'll guarantee you a headache. That's all I can guarantee, because I can't guarantee you the winner. Tough race. Yelling Up Girl was good the other day, but goes up 4.5 kilos. Big jump in weights.
Big jockey change.
Very big jockey change, but up 4.5 kilos. Rasmus was good at Northam behind Lano. Draw 9. I've gone through these. Master Tactician, good third. Northam, Snipperando. You're following the form here. Why I'm saying it's so competitive. She's a Sheila, 7th as favourite, $4.40 favourite. Only beat 9.5 lengths as a favourite to Angel's My Name.
It was a pen job, that race.
It was. Imperialise has won for 447 days, but backs up off the 7-day break of that Sterling 11th, beaten 6.7 lengths behind Forever Boy. It's tough. Royal Gap's going to go around the favourite. It's been well supported already. The best they bet was $3.30 on Tab Touch, in now to $2.80. As the form lines up, I know it's up 3 kilos, but it's a consistent performer. A good second to Dirty Chai. Injero, a very good second to Bohemian Diamond, a horse that's going places at big odds at $41 at Belmont. And then Kelvinator, the Kelvinator form, which lines up both Royal Gap and the second favourite, Why Me. Kelvinator's got under a lot of people's guards. Its last 4 runs have been excellent.
They have. I think that's the right form.
It looks the form, doesn't it?
I hope so. I'm not overly keen on this race.
Nor am I. I'm trying to make a case for the race. Asphalt is the other runner in it. So that's your field. What I'm saying is, if you're going a quaddie, there's early quaddie, late quaddie. The third leg of the early quaddie, I'll be going field, in my view. I find it very, very tough. If I was going to settle with one, I'd go with the Fioris. That horse was only beaten 6.8 lengths when 10th of 11 behind Kelvinator. Whereas Royal Gap was beaten 2.8 lengths behind Kelvinator in that run at Pinjarra on the scarp side over 1,400. But I just got a feeling this horse will appreciate the extra journey and his third run up, and races well at Bunbury's. Had 2 goes at the track and distance, has won and run third. So I'm with Why Me, and if you're getting each way, I think you're up and running. $6 and $2.10 currently on Tab Touch.
Yeah, there's plenty of words you could use to describe this one, Rusty. Not sure we've got to the brunt of them yet, but Why Me was the one I thought might slip under the guard, but hasn't got to that point from a price perspective. I think he's had excuses as he's been building fitness at his first 2 runs back. He was back and wide on a day you didn't want to be back and wide. Last start, loves Bunbury, draws a barrier for the first time this preparation, third up to this trip. I can certainly see him improving, but off last start, I just think Royal Gap, while he is drawn a little bit sticky, he has to start favourite in this race. That's how the market currently situates itself. Was huge against the pattern in an on-speed dominated West Speed final behind Kelvinator, who you touched on last start. He's pretty versatile. He can go forward in his races. We've seen him go forward and back and race well throughout his career, really. He's certainly no star. There are none of those in this field, but this rise in trip's what he's looking for. So Royal Gap on top for me, but no interest in this race from a betting perspective, really.
On the race
Why Me each way?
Yeah, you're Why Me, yeah. Grenfield's Lodge, handicap, it's over the 1690. They've taken out Classic Rogue. This race due to go 149. 2 Lord Gannigas is $16. 3 Done With The Blues at 6, drifting. Let's Deal. He was good second up. He's 23, the big boy. 5 Snazzler, 14. 6 Camera Action is 650. 7 First Encounter, 320 after opening at 290. Back into 280. Bellini Miss is $13. Been Spec Manavendra, 31 Spec. Famous Dane, 750 to 7. Romeo is 18. Ton of Grunt is 12. Atlantis Beach, First Emergency, 51. Sluice Box, Second Emergency, 71. Found this another one. You have to go to premium to get this.
Oh, boy.
But
if Mark Maps gets this right...
Well, I reckon we will. I reckon it'll be 5 and 3. 5 Snazzler and 3 Done With The Blues. There you go. Bit of confidence. Oh, who's riding Snazzler? I'll give you a quick call.
I don't mind.
Jared Nosky.
Yeah, I
just tell him to lead it all.
Little bit. The word we usually use, Mart, is Lionel.
Yeah, Lionel Messi.
A little bit Lionel, this speed map. One horse I thought could go forward this time around is Lord Gannicus.
Yep, he's done it before.
At the top there.
Famous Dane?
I thought he's run... Yeah, Famous Dane will hold a spot. Don't think they'll roll forward or try and be overly aggressive. But
there's not a lot of genuine speed here. That's the problem. It can get messy.
Snazzler will lead. I thought Lord Gannicus could lead if they really wanted to. Snazzler's not a horse that, fires out and looks for the top. Fair to say. There's a few potential early moves from horses out of the barriers here that'll look for a position in running. Often you find, Rusty, in these races that look like they have no speed on paper, you see a couple really chance their arm.
It's funny,
there ends up being a fair bit of tempo as a result. But, I think First Encounter finds his most suitable race all campaign. I really like this horse, and I was on him last start at Northam, and as a punter, Rusty, is there anything worse than when they're pulled out of the barriers and vetted before the race starts?
He got fractious in it.
He did, it just I just hate when they get pulled out of the gates and you're on one. It's just the worst feeling in the world.
You're sort of hoping that they do.
You're hoping that they scratch, exactly. But all clear, went around. Clint Johnson Porter was, for mine, playing a bit of cat and mouse with William Pike on the other well-fancied runner in that race on Correct Choice at the back of the field, and those up on speed were getting away with murder. So by the time he was able to get going, it was always going to be a tough task, but he couldn't have hit the line any better than what he did.
Perfect. Yeah, the last 200 was excellent.
Yeah, I thought his run fresh in 72 plus company was very good as well.
Yep.
I would have maybe preferred a bigger track, given he is likely to get back and just the kind of horse that he is. But if they're making ground, he looks the one to beat for mine. So we're going to have a nice enough gauge by race 4 whether they can make a bit of ground out in the middle of the track. So First Encounter on top for me. Happy to put him in the book as well, Mart, as one of my better bets on the program. But I am also going to have something small on Lord Gannicus at a big price.
Yep.
Thought he was really good first up. 78 plus company, was beaten under 3 lengths by Love and War. Back in grade here to a 66. Big jockey change with Steve Parnham jumping on board, and thought there was a chance they could roll forward here and he could even lead or find the breeze. And initially I thought 1200 up to the 1690 second up was the slight knock, but I went back and watched his replay last campaign. He went from the 1,000 first up to the 1,400, and his run in defeat when wide throughout was very, very good. So not too perturbed by that move or that rise in trip. So something small at the big price as well on Lord Gannicus, who I think is a little bit over the odds, particularly if it is playing on speed on the weekend.
I think you've summed it up perfectly, mate. I think it is clearly the horse to beat. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts a fair bit shorter than this, to be honest. Once people do the form on the race, the 320 that was there wasn't there for very long, but another very highly competitive race down at Bunbury to end the early quaddie. Ton of Grunt was good at Northam. Very, very good running on, and probably the draw hurts it. Guys be sitting right back with. I'm hoping First Encounter's a little bit closer on Saturday than it was last time. Camera Action, form's good, meets Done With The Blues, 1.5 kilos better, but Done With The Blues certainly did hold the other one to the line. Looked like it was going to go straight past it and held it well. Pike sticks. Second up, it's certainly bred to get the journey. Tricky race. If you can find the winner, you're going to do well. Probably the X factor horse in the race to keep an eye on, especially if you're playing quaddies, could be the knockout, could be Bellini Miss. It was the only horse to win on Bunbury Cup Day against the pattern. And
You
it
over
was
that yet or
clearly
not?
against. It was a
Bunbury
really
Cup
good
day?
run. Yeah, I'm still having the nightmares. But Bellini Miss was one that saved the nightmares. Certainly saved the bookies on the day. It was an exceptional run against the pattern. Hasn't been back there since. Only had the one run there. It was 1,200 that day, punters. Please note, and we're up to 1,690 now. But S.J. Miller's a genius. And Jordan Levin will probably go back, but it could be the blowout. Certainly first encounter the one to beat. Blowout Bellini Miss, and there's plenty of other smaller chances in the race.
All right. Old mate Giggles McGee over there. What, you got something for us?
Not in this race, no.
What's so funny on
no, there's been about 28 different thoughts go through my mind, but there's another one I just spotted up there. I was just looking at Bontempelli, and you think if Pickett is worth 1.3 or 1.4.
Goodness.
What's he worth?
Yeah, exactly.
Mac Andrews worth 1.4. What's he worth?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Pete's question regarding footy on the text line a bit earlier was, is Harley Reid going to get a bigger contract than...
Can we get him to Essendon? I wouldn't mind him at Essendon.
1.5.
We've got money.
It doesn't matter. It's only money.
Only money.
So do the members.
Hey, this is the first leg of what used to be the Barbaro Butchers Quaddie. It's the Whitton's Irrigation and Design Handicap over the 1,200 metres. That sponsorship is up for grabs. If anyone wants it, give me a call. One Massa Mune is $7.50, $8.07. Border Force, $18.31. Estimator, $12.23. Now, up from the goldfield, Sure Thing, 11 into 9.50. Kraken Time, 4 into 3.20. Lost Gravity is 18. Close Talker is 9. Jelly Can Run, 26. Best Mood, 31. Regal Service, 550 to 480. I'm a Page 3 Girl, 61. Top of the Walk, 41. On Plain Air is 12 into 9. Defiant Diorite, 126. And Tea Biscuit is 41. Just specked in a little. I thought Tea Biscuit would be leading with Sure Thing coming across, and just depending how much... Sure Thing kicking up with
I was going to say,
Tea
it has
Biscuit.
to come a long way across from barrier one.
I got it confused there, I've got to say. 1 from 4, and it'll be depending on who really wants to lead, because both could.
Yeah, I think Sure Thing will hold up.
You reckon?
Yep. That will be the instructions to Troy Turner for sure. Tea Biscuit will be in the breeze, and then you've got horses like I'm a Page 3 Girl who showed good speed at her first start in WA, just in behind them with On Plain Air. Lost Gravity. It's got some
Estimator
speed
come
as
across.
well. Estimator likely leads up the 3 wide line, I thought, Marty, unfortunately, from that gate. But yeah, that's, I guess, the horses that'll settle around the speed in the race.
What about this horse Sure Thing? You've seen a lot of him on the goldfields and in Esperance. Can he measure up in town?
Well, mate, he's just
Or in
flying.
Bunbury.
And great to see David Smith again with a good horse. Lovely to see these horses that they can pick up. This horse, they paid $11,000 for it, October 24 on the online sales.
Yeah.
They got their money back, basically, start 1 at Esperance, and it bolted in. And it's one of those horses, when it leads, it just seems to win, and you can even sit outside the leader and win. It's flying. It's a long way from Kalgoorlie to Bunbury. It's even further from Kalgoorlie to Belmont. But to Bunbury, I think this horse, if there's any, again, leader's bias, it's going to be rolling along. It does roll. It looks the only leader, in my view. I think it could get a soft lead. And if it does, at $9 or $10, it's a great value.
Well, it's one of those.
So they scratched that one in Barrier 2, have they? Tea Biscuit, Barrier 4.
I don't think he'll be crossing Sure Thing.
No, I can't see it.
It's one of those bets, Rusty, where you could either get set now and hope that's how the pattern emerges, or one, you're happy to sit and wait and see how the track unfolds, and at the first inkling that maybe it is tending to those on speed, then you try and beat the rush and get on board, because there's every chance that he does start a bit shorter if that is how the track plays out.
What about 0 from 5 on the soft?
That's the only question mark. Is if the ground has got the give that we're thinking it's going to have, that is the question mark. So you could hold up and wait and see, but they've got to come to town. When they're winning by 2.5 lengths every time, you've got to come to town at some stage. And good luck to the team there from Cal. A close talker, first time in Shades at start 16, William Pipe, but it's just the drawn 12. It's an awkward map.
Disappointing last start.
It was.
Every chance.
It was. It certainly was. Kraken Time is the interesting runner. It's the favourite, clear favourite. First start for Mitchell Pateman. It's out of the Sharon Miller yard. Horse with exceptional ability. Everyone just keeps questioning whether this horse can just learn to jump out of the barriers and get going. It misses it sometimes by 5 or 6 lengths and still can run a place.
Imagine if you could answer that question, Rusty, leading into this race.
Well, look, at least they're having a crack at it. They've changed yards. They're going to try something new, which is great. Again, the red flag is bar plates on the fronts.
Well,
especially on a soft track, possibly a soft track. So there's a lot of ifs and buts in this race. I'd be you've got time. You've got till 2:40 p.m. on Saturday to have a bet in this race. I think a lot of what might happen earlier might help you in regard to this race. Regal Service was very, very good the other day. Another one that we'll get back. Held up at the crucial time between the 250 to 200 metre mark, was just held up when it didn't want to be. Nice horse that won it too, American Escape. Very good second. Another couple of bounds that gets it. On plain air, little a horse, but going well in the stable, just keep winning races. It's another very competitive race, but it's a tricky one to map. And I agree with Mark Maps. I've got leading Sure Thing, but I don't think there's any sure thing in this race. There's more question marks than sure things.
Yeah, this is a real head-scratcher for me, Marsh. Cracking Time, I think, is a horse with real untapped ability, but just the trust issues I have with him from the barriers. The bars go on for the first time as well. It would be some effort for Mitch Pateman to get him to begin off a month between runs and win this race. I thought he was better in that most recent trial with Holly Watson on board, but he was still the last horse out of the barriers comfortably.
And you're 2-1
on that occasion. So that's my knock with him. I'm happy to watch as the current favourite in the market. And before we get to Northern Mart, we'll have plenty of time to get on track. I just wanted to touch on one horse that we haven't spoken about yet, really. And I'm not a great fan of the setup, but from what I've seen in 2 runs back this preparation, I think Regal Service could be well and truly above average, this Peters Investments Galloper.
We did touch on it. That was the unlucky one with the hold-up.
But it's just one of those... He should have bolted in last start.
Yep.
And American Escape is no slouch of a filly
Nice
either.
filly.
He's looking for further.
Yep.
No doubt about that in my mind. So the drop back to 12 from a very wide draw, likely settling right at the back of the field. Those are the concerns. But he's the horse that we might be talking about Sunday morning on Racing Rewind. Marty is the horse to be following moving forward if
Regal
he really...
Service, yeah.
And Sean O'Donnell back, riding on Saturday, Border Force at $31.
Not the maddest. Can sprint well fresh.
Absolutely. Don't worry about the trials. S. O'Donnell, Border Force drawn 2 at Bunbury. Don't leave it out of the all-important quadrilla.
Well, and there's a couple that I've made note of that would be going in my quaddie in what is a very open leg, this first leg. Jelly Can Run would be going in my quaddie for Graham Ballantyne, and Lost Gravity would be going in my quaddie as well.
Same.
Because you could make a case that Lost Gravity should have beaten home on plein air last start with better luck, and they're both going to get really nice runs throughout from their respective barriers.
And the price is there.
Okay. Riley Morgan is back into the team as well. He's been working feverishly behind the scenes, putting things up on the internet. Well done for that, Riles.
Yeah,
we forgot to do it last week.
Oh, shock horror.
I had to come and do the show Friday morning, and it was a barrage. There was 15 texts. Where's straight up?
Benny from Bunbury's text in. He's asking who the hell dressed Lockie. He thought he looked pretty good because I did.
Right, race number 6. This is the second leg of the what used to be the Barbro's Butchers Quaddie, and it's the Swan Draft handicap over the 1400. Time to go 3:15. One Missile Storm. Hang on. What's happened here?
Is this why McGinnity's away tonight? Did this happen?
I think it is.
It could
What's
be.
happened here? No, honestly, I'm looking at you. I need advice here. Can I read this out?
What happened here? It's a big shortener.
It should be renamed the Be Better at Life handicap, this race.
Well, it is. It's a Swan Draft.
Now, if this happens to win, we're not going to get that, what we had a couple of years ago when they said that was a wrong price. Remember that one caused a lot of controversy.
What's happened here? 150 to 1.
How about the backlash that followed the former controversy as well? Gee, if there will be some punters. I'd love to get him on the phone just to ask him what happened there.
What are on the text line? Anyone that's backed this at the 150 to 1?
If anyone got the $151 that was initially put up, which was no doubt a market error, for Missile Storm this morning, let us know, please, on that Retrovision text
It's into
line.
18.
Yeah, well, it was probably a slice of overs. Early doors. Maybe a little bit. Touch.
Gee, hang on, McGinnity.
McGinnity's still out of play.
No wonder he hasn't come in. This is a black mark.
Absolutely.
This is a bad day. This is a sad day. Might be the end of it.
It's a good day too.
I know there's good things about it.
It's a bad day. It's a good day. I hope he's feeling well.
3 Kalima is into 7. Romming Danger 34. Simply Thinking is 10. Hafey 51. More Than Enough 23. Mount Shirataku, nice horse, 260 to 215. Rally the Troops, Trumpy, $8.50. King Akid is 14. Uncle Gerard is 17 from 31. Looks 41. Ideally, 10 into 9. And Canny Jack's 126.
What about the map, Marty?
Oh, the map, you've caught me.
Important.
On the hop here with the map.
Martmaps.com.
Oh, what do we got here? I think the good horse Looks and Mount Shirataku probably lead here.
Which one, though? Which one will lead? Looks?
Yeah, Looks inside, just with the draw 6 to 10. I'd actually run out. Look, I'm doing it tough with a very bad knee at the moment. I've taken some mind alterings.
Yep.
And I got to this race before this and forgot to do any more maps.
Well, you got to keep doing them.
Yeah, I know.
In between the breaks there.
So that's a bit on the hop, that one, but we'll go with...
I know you're easily distracted, Mart.
And I think he's right anyway. I think he's right there.
Bang on the
money.
money.
Got the same. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got to a stage now where he can simply just glance at the field and it'll just...
Pops out.
It just says, this is the map. Get on the website, pay for the premium and be part of it. Why wouldn't you be?
Now, you put it into some sort of pattern now behind that map.
I do. Running the Troops, ridden cold the last 2 starts. I really think they found the key to this horse. It was a $50,000 winter yearling. They pay good money for it, 3-year-old here. I think just not going forward and sitting back with this horse is the key, and it really is quite an impressive galloper. I think it's going places.
Which horse was it?
Rally the Troops. Rally the Troops. You're looking at what's $8.50 each way. I do think Mount Shirataku is the one to beat without any doubt in the world. I think this is probably the best horse starting on the day at Bunbury.
Come on, get it out.
Just the phone lit up and I've read the text. I've read the text.
Come on, give us the text.
Because I read them all out. He filters them. He's a filterer.
No, he's not reading them all out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we wouldn't have any time to go through the form if
we
read
did it
them all
last
out.
week. They all got on. You text, you get on. That's our promise.
That's part of the $100 price from Mount Jared.
Jared from Scarborough's texted in and said Missile Storm was just markets merging.
And a bit of ESP.
Oh,
that's
straight
terrific.
out there to McGinnity. There you go.
And then Greg Ells just chimed in. Will AI have the same humour when they join the panel on a Thursday going forward now that Brad's been made redundant?
I like Greg L's form today.
He is in form.
He's probably the
clubhouse leader.
Jared's just poked his head in and said, I'm here too, Greg. I want that $100 voucher.
Where's Rick from Applecross? What's happened to Rick?
Rick's just texted in, actually.
Oh, good.
He's texting a photo.
What's he does? He says not a Lego, is it?
Marty, can I win the prize for the best texter? And he's sent you a photo.
You have to explain it.
He sent you a photo of a Collingwood Lego figure on a texter, I think. So
very
that
good.
one, you'll see that one.
A bit of humour.
The old art line, 70.
Yeah.
Okay, back to this race. Race 6. I think this is the best horse going around the day, certainly with the best promise. 3 starts, 2 wins. The 2 wins are amazing. This horse has got a lot of upside. Again, that same team of bandits as before, very similar.
Yeah.
A lot of them. They're in for a good day down there. Drawn 10, it's a little bit of a tricky draw, but I think Pikey will get it across. with the early toe it's got, and it'll probably sit outside your leader, Looks. I do see it also as the leader, Mart. Rally the Troops will settle back. I think that'll be the horse running home late. Kalima, it's 1 from 1 at Bunbury, which is always a tick down that way. Some horses just love that Bunbury track. Missile Storm, if you could have got the 150s, I'd have been on it as well. Simply Thinking likes Bunbury. 2 starts for a win and a second. Has been going around very, very well. Good win there against Rock Legacy. It was good. Hafey, very well known. Big, strong, strapping 5-year-old. This horse, Hafey. Remember Tommy Hafey? What a beauty he was.
He was a ripper.
But I'm going back to Mount Shirataka. I think it's the best of the day. I'm going to go early with it. And I think it's clearly the horse to beat. If they get over the top of this, they're going to be a good galloper.
I agree, Rusty. I made him one of my stronger plays of the day as well, Mount Shirataka. I think if he was to work to the breeze, as you mentioned, outside Looks, or if Pike was able to find a trailing spot in behind the speed, I think he looks your winner and looks very untapped in terms of what level he can get to. And just depending what the market does here, I'm actually going to have a little chop out as well, Rusty. I think the 3-year-olds really hold the aces in this race comfortably. A pair of progressive types, the other being Rally the Troops, delivering on the opinion I know the Pierces have always held of him this time in. I think his last 2 victories have been better than what he might get credit for, given last start he was off speed, further back off the speed than he was in that first win this campaign. Had to duck back to the inside, which was the inferior part of the track on the day, comfortably, and was still too good for them. And that was not a bad field that he put away and was able to get past either. So I thought he might come out looking for a similar spot to Mount Shirataka, and if he was able to find a nice position in running from a potentially tricky little gate, I thought he looked the main danger. So Mount Shirataka, clear result for me in the race, and going to have a little chop out on some of my stake with Rally the Troops. I really like the 3-year-olds here in this one.
Yeah, I think they've worked out Rally the Troops. I really do. I think that pattern of going back's the key. And Shirataka, is that some type of mushroom, Mark? For the Wellington? I'm not sure. There you go. Good race. Again, race 6 there. And then we head into the listed races at Bunbury. It gets exciting.
Certainly does. Looking forward to the Raconteur Stakes, race number 7 over the 1,400 metres, and what little delicacies are about to be served up here. The Mundaring Hotel $100 voucher. Get on the text line for Retrovision 0427 789 571. Any action there, Riles?
It's pretty tight at the moment, and the Maul has chimed in as well. He's written off McGinnity. He says, boys, you can survive redundancy. Life goes on. That was maybe text of the day. That's from the Mauler. He's
self-proclaimed.
He's declared it. He's done.
Wind of the Lion here is 11 into 950. It's a good race, the Raconteur. It's a 1,400. Time to go 349. Storyville, 260, 235. Elite Missile, 7 to 550. Pond Master is $8. Awesome Boy, $12. Spect King Hit is 31. Patron Express is 31. God's Gate, just had something on this, 31 to 14. It's probable leader. Ripper Farouk is 41. More Heroic is 34. Opportunistic 11 to 950. And Precious God is 31. As I just preempted, I think the leader will be God's Gate from 7 Lakhdar Romilly, and they can all sort it out behind him. Maybe Ripper Farouk kicks up from 1, but sorted out from there.
Yeah, the speed map's interesting because it plays a bit of a role for me in terms of how this race may unfold, particularly from a betting perspective as well. And I'll open up with that, Rusty, a horse at double figure odds, which I think can play a part in the finish if things go his way, and that's Awesome Boy.
Yeah.
He's been freshened up. He's back to 1,400 metres. I just think the key for this horse is if he can hold out God's Gate from finding the front. But my concern with him is that he doesn't jump overly quick. He doesn't have a great deal of gate speed, and that he's in a similar vein to My Hidden Universe. He really musters to get there, which does concern me a little bit, because I think if he does get crossed, then it's game over and you've done your money straight away out of the machines. But if Brandon Louis, with that little bit of freshness in his legs, can get him out of the gates and he can hold the front, I think he's going to run a mighty race. He absolutely murdered Pondmaster and 6-inch heels over this 1,400-metre trip 2 starts ago at Ascot. Ran the quickest last 2 from the top, just absolutely broke their hearts. And a lot of these, Rusty, are set for the Guineas in a fortnight. And as we know, there's a few of these horses that they will be aiming to peak in the Guineas in 2 weeks' time. Storyville, who we'll obviously get to, is certainly one of those. As he showed last start, Awesome Boy, the mile might just see him out at this stage of his career. I think this is his winter grand final, but there is that concern whether he does get crossed early doors. But I think if he can find the front, he's a high cruising speed, tough horse, especially if there's been an inkling of on-speed advantage there on the weekend. I think he'll run you a mighty race, Awesome Boy. But huge respect for Storyville and her return. That was exactly what they would have wanted from her, the Williams team. Taken back from a wide gate in a 78-plus behind Love and War. Never fully extended in the run to the post, despite still getting home incredibly well through some traffic over those latter stages. Thought she could hold up a lot closer here. I'm just mindful that she has been targeted at the Guineas. No doubt she can pick this off on the way through. Last preparation, she went 1,200 straight to 14, second up, and raced a bit flat. It was a little bit disappointing at her second up run last campaign, so that was just something that I did note. I just didn't think there was a great deal of value in her current price at $235, even though she is one that I'm looking to see what the market does with her. But currently, as the market situates itself, Awesome Boy on an each-way basis would be how I'm playing this race. And depending on Storyville's price as we get closer to start time, I'd be looking at actually saving on Storyville if that is how, if she does wobble a little bit from that current price. But either or, Awesome Boy each way or back Awesome Boy, save Storyville, how I'm looking at playing this race, Rusty.
Yeah, early drift, Riley, interesting with Storyville, opened up quite short at the 220. There is 290 about the place if you go shopping. It is there, and I think currently around the 250, 260 here locally. It could get out.
Well, there you go. That'd be, for me, that'd be it. That'd be at the price. You get $3 Storyville. Yeah. You get $12-14 Awesome Boy. I'd be backing Awesome Boy, the win, and saving on Storyville. Yeah,
and that's how I see the race. Look, it was to the eye, it was a little bit disappointing in the run, Storyville, but then when you go back and see what they ran home in 32-22, first up coming from well back, it was actually a very, very good run. It is that the big query, of course, is that second up run. Now, don't forget, first up last time in, it won at Bunbury, so it's a winner here at Bunbury. Won over 1,200 metres in a lowly race at Class 1. And then 10 days later, it backed up in town and ran fifth there to Elite Missile.
Was really disappointing on that occasion. Went around a $2.05 favourite as well. Yeah,
it was, but I think the 10-day gap was probably not as suitable as this is. This has got the 17 days in between the two runs, and I don't think the first up run took as much out of it as it did that first up win when it won at Bunbury. It won very, very well at Bunbury. I can almost go back and say the Pinjarra run was it never got into second gear.
Oh, it was a great run. Great return.
Great
Terrific
return. So every possible for mine, I can see it sitting a little bit closer from the two, but then again, it wants to be off the rail. Elite Missile, when you go trying to find the ones that are going to beat it, at least Elite Missile and Windsor and the Lion draw difficultly, so they've got a tricky map. The beauty about your one, and I'm in the same camp here, Awesome Boy, this horse is just tough. The only question mark I have is the 35 days in between runs, the 5-week gap, but it's tough. That day when it won at Pinjarra from sitting 3 wide the trip, and won well against Humilian Miss, was really good. And then the win at Ascot was good. These are good 3-year-olds. They're probably, as you say, heading towards Guineas. They're all looking towards the mile. Down the bottom, there's a couple of others in here, a couple of the Peters team with Michael Grantham. Opportunistic was a pretty convincing debut down there in Pinjarra. Stays at the 1,400, came from a long way back, in good time. Former $200,000, so you think. So you know that he's not going to have any problems either this week or in a fortnight's time in the Guineas. And more heroic, they paid $380,000 for this horse as a yearling. A very well bred Piero Suki, which is a Casino Prince, should also relish the extra 100 here from that win at Northern. And currently at $41 is exceptional value in the race. Good race.
Yep.
It has been, Mark, as we've said, some of these races are time-honoured. This one's a beauty. You go back through the Honourable Brave Spirit, Vast Art, Devoted, Graceful Girl, KC, the Superstar, Cup Night. Good race, good horses race. At Bunbury for the first time, it'll be a beauty, 1,400 metres. Good luck to all the owners. If you're heading down there, as we said, it is wide. There's plenty of others with chances. King Hit was good the other day. God's Gate will be right up on pace. Tricky maps, but they've both got heaps of ability. Wind in the Line and Elite Missile.
It's a bit of a forgotten horse in the race, isn't it? Wind in the Line.
It is. It was the boom horse earlier on.
Boom, yeah.
It was a massive boom on it. Elite Missile's last run was very, very good. It has run third. It's only a try here at Bunbury. It's a good race, very good race. Even the rank outsiders, when I'm saying horses had one start at one and one well at Northern, and it's $41. Second up at $1,400. It's a good horses race. Good luck to everybody with the 3-year-olds there. I think it'll be another great addition of the Raconteur and worth getting down to Bunbury to watch.
You could do worse than those Peters Investments horses down the page, particularly Opportunistic. I just think it's
good value, isn't it?
Huge X factor off that win, and could just continue to improve at a rate of knots. And I'll touch quickly on Wind in the Line, Marty, before we move on. Yep. I was disappointed with his run last start. I didn't think there were many excuses for him, even though he did get put into the race quite early. They weren't getting along at any real tempo in that race. Did have the 60 kilos, but only drops down to the 59 here. And I thought that perhaps didn't handle that rain-affected track. Just the wheels looked to spin a little bit. So if it is a soft six again on the weekend, that's a bit of a concern for a horse that's likely to settle near the back. And Elite Missile, love this horse. Think he's a ripping type. I just think it would be some effort for him to win, given he's likely to settle last in running for Barrier 12. So that's my knock on him at that price.
Last of the day is over the 1,200 metres, the Nixon Electrical Handicap at 423, and one is Rachenko, 4,360. Benji's is 71. Hell I Am is 31. Hanchy, 550. Royal Toronado is 16 into 13. Keep It a Mystery, 750, 12 back into 9. Russian Snipers, 41. Dance Boss, 41. And Keep Attacking, 41. Ah, yeah, Rightio, 13. Cool Memory, 26. Sunny Honey is 14. Decoration, 101. And Dracana, 425 into 340. I thought Rachenko would lead Dracana, Russian Sniper, and Sunny Honey, and then there will be a few others that want to kick up wide. But there's your lead. Rachenko will lead Dracana. And Russian Sniper. Spot on.
That's how I saw it. So we're on the same map there. Great race to finish. This horse has been underrated, really, hasn't it, Rich and Cozy? Its last 3 wins this prep have been impressive. It just seems to continue to get better with racing. 2 from 2 on a soft track, that's no problem. It's 1 at Bunbury. It's up a kilo and a half and meets Hanchy, that weight difference worse. Hanchy probably should have beaten it the other day.
You were on Hanchy, weren't you?
I was. I'm talking through my pocket a little bit, but I thought it could have won that. I really think it should have probably won it. There's a couple down here with a bit of value. I think Sunny Honey was ridden upside down last time, and that's only my opinion of the horse. 3 wide. It was 3 wide the entire trip and battled away beautifully. I just thought it should have been probably ridden a little bit closer. It gets its chance from 5.
You know, can I just jump in there? I know he got trapped wide, but he didn't panic Ryan Houston.
He did the right thing.
He sort of rated
he did the right
out
thing.
there. I thought it was.
He rode well last week, didn't he?
He rode really well. Really well. Really
and
impressive.
I know you and I love a horse off a 7-day back up, and it was only just got beat.
Harrow's good at it.
Yeah, Dracana has one on the soft. Good looking mare, this Dracana, 4-year-old. Another one of the Peters team with Michael Grantham drawing well. It's a really good race. Radio just keeps racing well. Let me see, going through the rest of the field, there's plenty of chances here. I'm going to stick with Hanchy just on the basis of the weights and measures. You know I'm a weights and measures man, and 1.5 kilos. Should be the difference here if they can match the same motors again. Rich & Co, I think, will be leading. I think Hanchy is the danger to it. If it doesn't beat it, and at the price, you're certainly getting a free look there at the each way. Royal Toronado, Pike Sticks, drops 2.5 kilos. Bit disappointing their last start. Does go much better second up. It's a second up record, 2 wins from 3 starts. Keep It a Mystery always gives its best. One of those lovely horses you'd like to own, right? A horse like Keep It a Mystery, they always just put in. And you know, when you're going to the races, you're getting a cheque to take home with you almost without fail. Great
nice
race. Yeah, it is. Look, it's a really good race. Don't leave a lot of these other ones out. But I think Hanchy, I'm going to stick with Hanchy on the each way basis to knock off Rich & Co.
Yeah, I really, really want to be with Hanchy as well. Rusty, I do like my stats and running some numbers. And this might sound a little bit harsh, but it's okay. I'm going to run with it. No disrespect to Keshaw, but you go back through his recent record at the moment and how he's going. And last 100 rides, he's only ridden the 2 winners, and they were both Queen's Sacrifice at Kalgoorlie. So it's a big sample size, isn't it?
It's a big sample size.
It's a big sample size. But the positive is he won't get many better chances, I think, to ride a Saturday winner than aboard this horse, and that I think he's ready to win unequivocally on Saturday. And you get an each way price, but it's one of those things you need to look at, I think.
It is a real stat,
it sounds harsh,
and we're not potting the young rider in any which way, but it is a fairly long runabouts in town.
I heard Sean Casey after the first win today of Aphrodite Magic, and he said Keshaw had done a lot of work on this horse behind the scenes. Unfortunately, he was suspended, and Braden Garth got the ride and rode it beautifully. Yeah. And maybe that's why he's on Hanchy.
Well, he's ridden the horse every run this preparation.
So it goes to show. But I'm saying he must be good with these horses behind the scenes.
I'm sure he does.
Manners.
I'm sure he does. A stack of work for the Caseys behind the scenes, for sure. We're not questioning that. I'm just saying.
No, you're just potting him through the stats.
Yep. These are things you need to take into consideration.
2 for 100.
If you're going to invest in a horse on a Saturday.
Well, 2 for 100 you'd be taking out of the attack, wouldn't you?
Yep.
But they're sticking with him, and good on the Caseys are sticking with him. Too. Yeah, the cricket will be up there soon.
Yep.
So, but best of luck, and I hope he proves me wrong and gets the job done, because this horse is flying, and I think with the weight swing it gets on Richenko, if you can find a spot with it and just give it a flowing, unimpeded run into the race, I think Richenko can be handed his first blemish this campaign with how that horse finished off last start down the straight.
This is one for the true believers. This is your opportunity on Saturday to pot Riley after the race next week here on Straight Up.
Well, you can do it in the post-race interview. Post-race interview. Lockie, if he does win, Lockie is a Keshaw man as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll be ready to go.
It'll be in red pen. It'll be in red pen
It'll be
on his form guide. On his form guide.
How's
just
a 2
to
from
make note
100
of it.
now, Riley? How's a 2 from 100? That's what it'll be. But good on you, Keshaw.
That's good.
Good luck, mate, on Saturday.
And just another horse you touched on as well, Rusty, Sunny Honey.
Yeah.
I think off the back up, he can win this race. He's been spat out by the market, but he was huge given the run he had last weekend, wide and working, gets 3.5 kilos on Rich & Co for a 2-length defeat first up, and was taking some good ground load off him over the 1,000 metres. So you'd suggest off that the rise to 1,200 is going to suit him as well. And I thought the gap between that pair is a little big in the market for mine, given he maps for a beautiful run in transit just in behind the speed. On the weekend from Barrier 5. Shouldn't be posted wide from there, you would think. So I think Sunny Honey is one at odds that I'd certainly be including in your numbers in the last, or potentially even having something on each way if you're so inclined.
Okay. Can I just quickly say to Nixon Electrical, the power never goes out at the Bunbury races. That's a good thing. Well done.
Right, good on you.
Electrical.
Yeah, they do a terrific job down there. That is for sure, Russ. Now, let's get your best bets first off. Nice and slowly so I can write them all down.
Yes, well, you will be writing a few down. Pure Excess, I think, will be very, very hard to beat. And I'm with Riley. I think the Black Figures is brilliant, this horse. I thought, in my own market, I had $1.85. So, Willie Pye, drawn well, terrific run on debut. Be very, very hard to beat. I'm sticking with My Hidden Universe for Johnny Doyle. Great, as I said, to see a good bloke get a really, really good horse. And well done there to Johnny. A very lightly race.
Isn't
going
his
places.
company sponsoring us up in Kalgoorlie for Tats?
Yeah,
Cup
specialised engineering services.
Yeah, well done,
very
Johnny.
good. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, great fella and a really good horse. And it's not lovely to see someone get their hands on a good one like that. I like Why Me each way in the third. First Encounter, I think, will win. So I'm saying it'll win. I've got a few for you here. Mount Chiritaku, the mushroom horse, I think it's the best of the weekend.
Wow.
So I'm giving it a 5-star
Special.
5-star special.
Give it the moral tag.
Oh, no, I would never use that M word.
Not the M word.
In the Raconteur, I found it a little bit difficult, go a bit wider there. And to bring it home, a jockey that probably will ride himself into a bit of form after this afternoon, Keyshaw Duran there on Hanchy there each way all day in the last.
Best bets for me. Yes. Race 1, Pure Excess. I'm with Rusty. Was very surprised to see the drift out to the current price there. Race 2, happy to have something each way on. Well, not each way, given it's only it's an 8-horse field. You can have something each way on Songer. I think he's over the odds. First up, he's a horse you need to get fresh for mine. So happy to have something on him at the double figures. Race 4, pretty keen on First Encounter. I think he finds the right race this campaign. We'll be having something very small as well on Lord Gannicus at the big odds, thinking they might change tack and roll forward this time around. And then race 6, Mount Shirataku, in agreement with Rusty, will be chopping out / saving on Rally the Troops. I think the 3-year-olds hold that race by the scruff. And race 7 in the feature of the day, the Raconteur Stakes, Awesome Boy, the win, and will be saving on the favourite Storyville.
Storyville. All right,
nothing in the last.
All in the book.
Nothing in the last for me.
Apart from the pot. Okay.
Just here to throw out.
Now get your bets on. We've got 9 minutes before bounce down, and our man Brad Hardy has got Western Bulldogs. They have to win 1 to 39, and then Higgins, West, Bontempelli and Kennedy all to kick 1 goal each, and that is $7.90. And Mickey McGuan's quaddy, he's gone Western Bulldogs. They have to win by plus 15.5. The Hawthorn Adelaide game unders, Geelong plus 15.5, Fremantle Dockers plus 15.5, and Melbourne to win straight out at $2. If you're alive coming that last game, he suggested.
Well, that's a little bit boring, isn't it, Mark? Yeah. I wanted the point scorers. I wanted players to kick points.
No, I like it. I do it Mick's way. I'm an old style. I'm a missionary man.
I was more talking about Brad's bet.
Can we quickly talk golf before we go for a break or not?
Why do you got to get
2 minutes? Because at 5:30 it kicks off.
Wow, you've been strong on this. Yeah.
Okay, I've just got
strong.
2 at value.
We've got to get
here.
to Glenn Gregory.
Two at value.
All right.
I'm sure he's in a real rush, sitting on the deck, putting back his 5th Swan draft for the afternoon. Greg,
come on, here we go.
Okay, in the US Open, this is the major. They reckon this course has been set up so hard that the score that wins it will likely be above par. So
really,
it's that tough. The rough is sometimes 2 feet deep, and they can struggle to find their golf ball. So on the basis of that, there's 2 blokes that are very confident about playing at this course. One of them is Shane Lowry, who was runner-up here as a younger player in this US Open. He ran second in. He's striving when he's getting there. He feels good about the place. He said it reminds him of the courses he played as a kid back in Europe. So there you go. So Shane Lowry, I haven't got the latest price there, Mark. Have you got that for us?
Yeah.
And the other one is
$29.
Okay, and the other one is a bloke that hits the ball dead straight.
Ludwig.
And that's what they need. Ludwig.
Well, that helps, doesn't it, Rusty? That certainly helps.
Especially here. With this course, some of the fairways are only 24 metres wide.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, you think about that, and then you go into jungle.
I'm a straight hitter.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Well, just
tap it up the front.
Yeah. Well, you go right there. For bigger hitters like me and Riley, it wouldn't be as good. No. But Ludwig Aberg, got a price on him?
Yeah, he's $19.
Okay. Very straight golfer. This course suits him, and he's in great form. There's the 2 for the US Open. You'll get a bit of value out of that for the 4 days.
Now, as I said last night, I do subscribe to a golfing punting site.
Good.
I won't give its name.
Okay.
But I'm going to throw out some tips for the punters just because I'm a good guy.
MarchChips.com, is it?
So Scotty Scheffler, he's the favourite, but they've got him to win. They've got him to win. They've got Bryson DeChambeau to finish top 5.
Too wild off the tee.
Right.
Second favourite.
Xander Schauffele, or whatever his name is,
third favourite.
Top 10 finish.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, they've gone Tommy Fleetwood to be the top UK player.
Yeah.
Jason Day to be the top Australian.
Oh, not one for the Min Woo fans.
And Corey Connors a top 10 finish. Corey Connors.
It's Pot and the Chef.
Barry Connors.
Yeah, so there. I'm only throwing a little bit in, but
I like Tommy Fleetwood. I'm a Tommy Fleetwood fan.
You seem to be across it. You're two again?
Ludwig A. Berg.
Yeah.
And Shane Lowry.
Yeah, that's the golf.
All right, we'll see how they go.
I like it, Rusty. I'm following you in.
Thank you,
I'll
Rolls.
stop him for you.
Oh, no, you won't stop it.
We're off to Carnarvon next.
We hope you enjoyed another stimulating episode of Straight Up. All betting markets supplied by Tab Touch. All care, no responsibility went into the production of today's podcast.